Yeah. Y'all already know what it is. Yeah, I'm here again. It's your boy TK the Poet. You already know it, so you ain't gotta quote it. And if I spoke it, you already know what that means. Y'all wrote it. We here. We got a special guest in the building. We finna spit and we finna talk about some poetry. And we gonna get deep into OB knowledge life. We gonna see why poetry is life for him. So, but if y'all didn't know, look, it's Poetry Life League. It's going down in 5 months. Um, it's gonna be the dopest thing that ever came across poetry. This one individual, this one poet, this great poet that's coming up. He's a part of Poetry Life League. Hey, y'all gonna see more of him. We gonna get deep into who he is, why he chose the name he chose, and how did poetry really change his life. And we're gonna get really deep into it, but let me give y'all a little spiel about what Poetry Life League is about. It's 20 poets going against 20 other poets across the United States. It's one poem versus one poem. We're gonna see who's gonna come out on top. Man, it's 20 poets going against they're going against each other twice. So they're gonna have 38 matches. This is a real season. This is the real deal. We're gonna see how they're gonna push their pen and see how can they endure during 38 matches. So we're gonna see who's gonna come out on top, and who need to get back in that lab and write some dope poetry. But this is all to promote the poetry and push the culture to a different level. I know y'all tired of going to poetry slams and seeing the same old, the same people that that's being biased. The house poets. I know y'all tired of the mess that's going on in poetry slams, but hey, come here, be entertained. Here's some dope poetry. Here's some dope vibes, rhythm and poetry. That's what rap stand for. If y'all like rap, then y'all gonna have to love poetry. But I ain't gonna bore y'all too much longer, man. I'm gonna bring up my guest real fast. My boy Obi Knowledge. My boy Obi Knowledge, come to the stage, man.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
Hey,
Great. Good
man.
evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. To the kings and queens in the building, everybody watching. Peace and blessings, gratitude, all that.
Man, most definitely. Man, look, we got a spoken word artist, poet, writer, author. Talk about it. He's all that, man. What's going on
Well,
with you, man, poet?
um, as a poet, I've been writing poetry since I was about 15. You
Mm.
know, um, I started. Well, you heard my first poem ever.
Okay.
Um, but uh, I started writing to release my anger and my frustration between my relationship with the Most High
Mm-hmm.
and my not being able to understand at a young age why I had epilepsy.
Mm.
So it was a way for me to sort of get my frustration out. And when I became a teenager, it became a means to get girls.
Oh, okay.
It then by the time I got to like later on in years, as like I was ending my college career, I mean my high school career into my career, I started getting it more into the performance side of it, and it just took off from there. um
So
people
you got into poetry first, to holler at some females, so the females were digging your poetry.
well, the females were more intrigued at the fact that I could write poetry.
Mm,
They
okay.
were more intrigued with the fact that I could write poetry because nobody was doing it. I mean, like people wrote it for like school assignments and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but to just be writing it, nobody was really paying attention to that. You feel me? So it was like, okay, he's writing the poetry and he's like, when it came to like English literature class and like social science and like history class, like I would take excerpts out of a Malcolm X book and build a whole poem, you
Mm,
know. And the teachers was like, well, what's this? I was like, just read it, and they were like, yo, you need to be on the school newspaper. So I went and started working for the school newspaper, you know. Then I went from working from the school newspaper to being an editor of the school newspaper.
Okay, there's levels. So man, before we get too far into this, man, let people know where you from and where you resign in, man.
Well, I'm from Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Moved to Atlanta in 2001. I've been in Atlanta since. I've been on the spoken word scene here since 2001. It performed all over. Um, my original name was Knowledge, the Hood Prophet.
Mm,
Um, uh, and the original name of my business was Minds at War Entertainment. But
mm,
as I got older and I started to develop my craft, I changed the name to Verbal Doctrine Productions
mm,
because I was not only doing music, I was doing poetry and photography,
mm.
and I was building my own brand. So um a lot of people here in Atlanta, they use the phrase, get it how you live.
Right, right, right.
And with me, that was never really a thing in Chicago because that was something we automatically did. But it became something greater than that. So when I hit the poetry scene, they were like, look, you're gonna have to put in work. You can't just get up on the stage and
Mm,
just spit a poem. We don't know how good of a poet you are. You gotta prove yourself. So I was like,
mm,
bet. You talking about proving myself. So like I would go to the cafes on the days that they didn't have no open mic. I'd be in the cafe from like 12 in the afternoon to like 8 at night. And
mm,
I'd just be with there, my pen and my pad. Some days I would bring my computer and I'd make a beat, and I'd be in the cafe with my beat machine and my computer, and I'd be writing. And
mm.
I would leave there probably, I get home on a regular basis, probably around midnight. And I would take the bus from all the way from Decatur train station all the way to South Atlanta, because at the time I was living in South Atlanta. And that was like a everyday thing. I was always in the library studying different poets, different subjects.
So
I
you
mean,
really put in that groundwork, that footwork to to be who you are. Like uh, I always ask poets, do they just write or do they study what they write about? And it seems
well,
like to me
yeah,
like you have different levels of your writing. Like you actually study and you research and and
yeah.
put a lot of into your poetry.
I try to, man. I try to be, an inspiration to other people. I try to give as many jewels as I can to people to get them inspiration. I'm gonna tell you, one of my biggest inspirations is homeless people.
Hmm. Talk
You
about it.
know, like what a lot of people don't realize about homeless people is that homeless people used to actually be people.
Talk.
And so I met this guy here in Atlanta. He was in a wheelchair. And when I say this man is a hustler, he a hustler.
Hmm.
He was selling oils, right? So one day he was like, yo, you want to buy some oils? I was like, yeah, man. He's like, I got Gucci, Polo, this, that, and the third. And I was like, yo, let me smell that. And, I would put it up to my wrist, and I'd smell it. And he was like, oh, that's the joint. He's like, yo, just give me $10. So at the
Hmm.
time, I didn't have a change for a 20. This
Right.
man reached down in his sock,
Hmm.
put out a wad of cash this big,
Hmm.
and gave me
Free
change
money.
for that 20. And I was like, and you homeless? He was like, yeah, I'm homeless. I was like, well, how you get all the money if you homeless? He was like, look, I go to this place, I do this, and this for them, in my wheelchair. you
Mm,
know, and they give me the oils I need for free. All I
mm,
gotta do is whatever money I make, I split it with them. And I
right,
go in, I'm able to stay in the shelter, I'm able to get food, I'm able to get clothes. So they was really getting it.
mm,
And I wrote a poem about him. I called it The Hustle Man,
okay,
you know, and I was on the train one day and I performed it, and he just so happened to pull up, you
mm,
know, and he was like, "Yo, I appreciate that, bro." And it put a smile on my face, you know what I'm saying? And I met this other guy. He was an engineer for NASA in, in the military. And when I say this man was breaking down math equations, like on the bus, we riding the bus, man, smell like straight alcohol. You know what I'm saying? But the man was so smart, I was like stuck. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
right.
So it was like, well, I found inspiration everywhere. I
Look,
mean, you could find inspiration anywhere.
look, I used to go around, with my camera and talk to homeless people and stuff like that, and they have a lot of knowledge. And a lot of people really don't understand. A lot of them are homeless by choice. They choose to be homeless. They have families and loved ones that care about them, but they just choose to be out there. So some people are okay with just having a burden necessity, living off the land and stuff like that, because like I said, a lot of it is by choice. I was homeless at one point in time, and a lot of people didn't know, but so hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive.
Well, see, I live by a policy, bro. And my thing is all I need is a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in. You know what
Look.
I'm saying? As long as I got clothes on my back, I'm good. Like, if there's one thing that, black people should learn from other people, is that we don't need a lot to live.
Right.
You need a lot to continue to live, but you don't need a lot to live.
Hmm.
You'll see people from other races and other cultures. They have one or two things. They either got a pocket knife or they got a gun.
Hmm.
You know
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
that's a fact.
So, and that's just for means of survival. That means they gonna eat and they gonna have a means to protect themselves. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
And you see everybody from all these different cultures. The first time I ever seen a person of color hunt was when I moved to Georgia.
Hmm.
And it was crazy to me because, like, he literally went, shot a deer, cut the deer up, cut the guts out, put the meat on the grill, and cooked it. It was the most craziest, insane thing to me, but it was cool at the same time
Right.
because I was like, this is an experience I ain't never experienced. I'm a city boy.
Hmm.
Like, I'm from Chicago, so like
Right.
we don't do stuff like that. If somebody getting shot, we thinking it's a person. We not thinking
Right.
it's an animal.
Nah,
You know what
for
I'm
real.
saying? Like I mean, like it was crazy,
Look.
but
So tell me about you growing up into poetry, like you told me you did music, right?
yeah,
So was you doing music first, or was you writing poetry first? Which one came first for you?
I was writing poetry first, but I couldn't I
Okay.
couldn't find a producer.
Mm,
And every time I would look for a producer to produce my music, they were always like, "Well, what kind of sound you like?" I was like, "I'm like a neo soul jazz type of person."
right.
And they was like, "Oh, I don't mess with the jazz. I don't mess with the neo soul. I do trap music. I do this kind of music."
Mm,
But then when I started making my beats and they would hear my beats, they were like, "Yo, you mixing, boom bap with violins and this, that, and the third." And I was like, "Yeah, you know." And they liked my stuff. But because I was new at making beats and I was new to the whole music side of things, it was coming out real basic,
Mm,
but it was enough for me to get to where I was going.
mm.
And now that I'm a whole lot better at it, but it was a growing process.
So,
Anything you do is a growing process.
so which one do you lean more on, making music or writing poetry? Which one is one and which one is two?
Poetry is in my blood, you know what I'm saying? So that's always going to be number one.
Okay, okay, okay.
But music is a part of me. You know, I could hear a beat and know exactly what I want to do to it.
Mm,
But I would have to arrange my vocals to fit that beat.
right, right,
But like I could be walking down the street and see a beautiful woman and know exactly what I want to write down on a piece of paper about that woman and how I saw her and how I envisioned our interaction,
right,
you know. So for me, everything was like whatever I experienced, it was writable.
right. But you know what? So look, let's say this: the process of writing poetry and the process of writing music. Now, when you're writing music to when you write lyrics to a song, you have the beat you can flow off of to get your tempo, to get your speed when you're writing to music. But when you're writing poetry and you don't have no music, you have to correct that tempo. It's like, when you write, you have to write the performing parts in there and stuff like that. So like with music,
Nah,
it's kind of like with the assist.
it's like this. All right, it's all a part of what your creative process is, right?
Okay.
So my creative process is I listen to the melody of a song before I ever pick up my pen.
Right. Right.
You know, I listen to the entire track from front to back before I ever pick up my pen. And then once I pick up my pen, I shut off all the lights in my room or whatever space I'm in, and I just start writing.
Mm.
And by the time I get done, I got an entire poem. Cause I
Mm.
can see in the dark. I can see in the dark. Like
Okay.
I used to hide up under my covers, when my parents would go to bed, and I'd be, writing poetry in my bed, you know. So like they go to bed, and they're like, "Look, I'm trying to get this off my head so I can go to sleep, you know."
Look, have you ever like look, I don't know if this weird or strange, whatever, but I used like I ain't gonna say used to because I still do. I have dreams about me writing poetry in my dreams. So, with some stuff I can wake up and remember, like, man, that was fire, and I can write it down. Have you ever experienced, you writing, or you seeing yourself performing on stage, you writing a new piece
All
that
the
you ain't never
time,
heard?
all
Mm.
the time.
Ain't that fire? Like for me to
Yeah.
remember, I wake up and remember. I'm like, okay, let me write this down. Like,
But see, the moment, okay, for instance, yesterday I woke up and I wrote a poem, um, and it was about my VNS,
mm,
and I have two devices in my body. I have a vagus nerve stimulator and I have a deep brain stimulator, which helps control the frequencies of my seizures. And
okay,
so I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and I recorded it and I put it on YouTube and TikTok. And I don't remember what I named it, but I also have one that I wrote early in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, called The Medical System.
mm,
It's a real short piece, but they're random thoughts that come to me early in the morning, and I have to wake up and record them. If I don't record them, I'll forget them,
mm,
you know. or I'll remember pieces of them and I'll
Right.
just build off of it and later on down the line. Excuse me.
So look, I
But
have a question. I have a question for you. So like with your illness and what you're going through, how do that how does that affect you from performing or doing what you love on a regular or on a consistent basis?
well, being that I'm a spoken word artist, I can't perform under hot lights for long periods of time. I can perform under lights, but at some point, I'm gonna have to be like, yo, I need some water, I need some hydration,
Right.
it's
I need some water,
but
right?
yeah, like I keep water with me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a must. Um because my body gets overheated real quick. And I used to be a chef. So I was working in kitchens with like 450-degree ovens, and like I was cooking, shrimp, chicken, lobster, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I worked in I came straight out of culinary school to Atlanta thinking I was gonna get this big culinary job, and wound up realizing that they wanted me to have 6 years experience, and I'm like, I just came straight out of school. They're like,
Mm,
we don't care. The only thing job you gonna get here is a prep cook if you want to work. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna start at the bottom. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? And I just got my degree. I wasn't about to do it, so I ended up working for a catering company. And then after the catering company, I ended up starting working at little odd jobs here and there, and
mm,
eventually it led me to the stage.
mm,
So once I got to the stage, I made my first chat book. I said I made $1,000 in one day,
mm.
and um, the name of the book was called Fixation. It was my first chat book ever. It was like 10 poems,
Okay.
and I was real proud of myself. At the time, I had my editor was like my manager and my editor. So
Okay.
uh, and we worked really good together for years. And then she went through some family issues, and we sort of broke off from each other. But um I always remember the stuff that she taught me and all the stuff that the other poets that I came into contact with, all the knowledge and the jewels they dropped on me, you know, in order for me to stay focused and stay on my grind and always keep sharpening my pen, you
Mm,
know. So, one of the major things you'll find in the poetry scene is people like to use stanzas and pauses to
right.
make points, to
Right.
make points. But see, in the rap game, it's about the metaphors, not the
Mm-hmm.
stanzas.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I would take a stanza and turn it into a sonnet. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I would flip the words and I would use the word more than once so you could understand that I'm still trying to correlate this one word to the entire poem.
Look, I got a question. So, can you describe your style of poetry? Like, do you have a style?
I really don't have a style. If I was to name my style, I would say I have a corrupt style.
Mm, okay. Explain that.
Well, I'm a cross between Shakespeare and Malcolm X.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I use words to make people feel stuff. I don't want whether it be anger, whether it be passion, whether it be whatever. You know, one of Malcolm X's messages was by any means necessary.
Right.
So whatever your point is, whatever point you're trying to make, you need to make it with the greatest of intention. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about Malcolm X was that he saw the world with a broader view. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Some depth.
even though he was Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
and a black Muslim at that, he could not understand why black Muslims were so limited.
Hmm.
So he went to Mecca and he saw what Mecca was really like.
Mm-hmm.
And when he saw that there were white Muslims, brown Muslims, black Muslims, he was like, yo, this is insane.
Hmm.
This is what we should be doing in America.
Right.
You know, instead of trying to fight the white man, we need to be trying to convert the white man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much converting them in a sense of making them believe what he believes,
Right.
but that we all should believe in one supreme being.
Mm-hmm.
And what with poetry, you have to believe in what you're talking about. Because if you don't believe in what you're talking about, nobody else will.
Look, and like that conviction that you have. That's why, like, when people, when people hear my poetry, they say, "Oh, you have so much passion, in your poetry," because I'm like, it's me. Like, the passion comes within me. It's not made up. This is some real life experience that I didn't been through, or these are real feelings. These are real emotions. So you can't duplicate or fake something that's real. It's only time when people be doing that fake stuff that really people can't relate to. Be like, I don't feel that. You have to have a feel to it, and that's why I say
Right.
like poetry is different from this rap music that we listen to. Ain't no feel in rap music now. Like
Well,
these, like,
you you
come
you
on, let's
got
give
you
it a
you got
dollar.
it
Let's
you
give it
you
a
you
dollar.
got you can't say that because
Why? Why we
there
can't say that? Name
because
one
there's
song
a
that got that
difference.
feel to it.
Come on now, you
Name
you
one
you
song
you
that got
talking
that
to
feel
a
to
real
it.
hip hop head right now.
I'm talking about in this day and age, this music is going on right now. Give me one rap song that got that feel to it.
One rap song.
See, you thinking
Um,
about it. You thinking about it. See, look.
no,
Come on.
because the people I listen to ain't the people everybody listen to.
Okay.
See, me, I like people like J. Cole. I like people
Okay.
like I like people like Common Sense. I like cause Light is one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
The is one of my favorite songs. I grew up on Eric B. and Rakim. So Don't Sweat the Techniques is one of my favorite joints. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about rappers today, you know what I'm saying? You have to think about Kendrick Lamar. You got to think about J. Cole. You got to think about Eminem. You got to think about Tupac. You got to think about Biggie. You got to
Right.
think about those people. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, NWA. You think about all those people, but when you're talking about the 2000s, the like today's 2000s, you got to think about people like um you got to think about people who are actually making an impact, like Saba the Goddess, Cyrock, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying, Rhapsody,
Okay.
um um SZA, uh 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 they're all women, bro. Dochi, you know what I'm saying? All the women are making the impact right now. The men are making impact. Don't get
But
it twisted.
but it's not mainstream though. It's
It
it's
is
uh
mainstream. It is
it's
mainstream,
I,
but
I don't hear it on the radio.
You're not
what
gonna hear you're not gonna
that's
hear it
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
radio because
That's what I'm saying.
the radio stations are becoming obsolete. The radio stations are becoming obsolete. This is the new radio station right here.
No, that
This is
is
the
a
new
fact.
radio station.
Black Room
This is
Media,
the
y'all
new
sitting
radio
in the
station.
corner.
Yeah. So like you can still have a soundboard and all of that. And like you don't watch Breakfast Club. You don't listen to Breakfast Club on the radio.
Right,
You watch it on YouTube.
right. That's a fact.
You feel what I'm saying? So like don't get it twisted. I'm not saying like even the Steve Harvey show and Sway in the Morning, all of that stuff. Yes, that stuff plays on the radio in their city. But at the end of the day, people come to YouTube for that stuff.
No, that's a fact.
So you got to remember the game has been changed. So that's why you got Spotify. You had what was that? What was it? You had BMI
Oh
radio.
yeah, yeah.
You had BMI radio. You had Pandora. You know Zam. You had Zam. All of that came into play because they were trying to find a way to minimize the market.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you minimize the market, you go from spins to downloads. So
Okay.
how many people are downloading your song? So you could download one song and make $5
Mm.
versus spinning the song and making $1.50.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
So so imagine how many people downloaded Lemonade. Imagine how many
A
people
lot.
downloaded Lemonade the first day it came out. That's the only reason why she had a platinum album.
I mean,
Let's
yeah.
let's let's be honest. Do you really think Jay-Z would be as famous as he is today if he was if he was a 2002 or 2001 rapper?
Man, Jay Z can rap though. We're not doing that. Jay Z
No,
can
no, no,
rap.
no,
Yeah.
no. I'm talking sales wise. I'm not talking about whether he can rap. I'm talking about money wise. Do you think he would be in the same position today as he became when he first started?
He probably be a little bit higher though. I ain't gonna hold you.
So you telling me So you
I ain't-
telling me you think he would still be a multimillionaire, not even a millionaire, a billionaire? You telling me you think he would still be a multi-billionaire if his career started in 2002 versus back in 1993,
I mean, yeah,
early 80s?
because back then you had to grind and get it out the mud. You had to go places and pass out, and you really had to put
But
yourself
you
out
ain't
there
got to get
for it.
it out the mud right now. That's what I'm
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
That's
That's
the
what I'm saying. He would thrive. He would thrive in this generation because it'll be a lot easier for him to get his music out. He can touch multitude of people. So back then, it was kind of it was subtained. Now it's wide open. So
And why
yeah,
do
you
you
have a better.
and that's exactly why poets are having a hard time because
Mm.
anybody can write a poem, but can anybody perform a
No,
poem?
that is a fact. But see, there's different lanes and there's different levels in poetry. Now you have poets that are performers. You have poets that are just readers. You have poets that are just writers. They never want their poetry to be spoken out. They just like to write. You have writers, you have
Bro,
readers, and you have people that
go
perform.
look up Saul Williams. Go look up Williams on YouTube. He read an entire poem off a roll of toilet tissue on
It's different.
stage in front of on
It's
stage in
different.
front of on front in front of 300,000 people.
That is different. I ain't gonna hold you. That's most definitely different. But like I said, like you have readers and you have performers. Now, can a reader be a performer as in the same room?
Of
Can he
course,
read and also perform at the same time?
of course. A prime example would be Langston Hughes.
Okay.
Another example would be Maya Angelou.
Okay.
Another example would be Angela Davis. Uh, who else? Jill Scott will be another example. Common will be another example. You know, uh, 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 MC Light would be another example. Moni Love would be another example. Moni Love wrote poetry before she ever became a rapper.
Hmm. So
Queen
look,
Latifah.
look, look. You know what though? This is the last question I'm gonna ask you because I want you to get into some of your poetry before we run out of time. But is it easier to write music or poetry? Which one is easier?
Poetry for me.
Poetry. So okay, so and another question too. Why you think a lot of these rap artists or these artists, they start out as poetry, but they really don't mention it like they mention it, they music or whatever they doing. Why they never say, okay, yeah, I did poetry. Let me put out something for poetry. Why we can't get those artists that that was big poets, when they started, but now they got into the music game. Now it's all about music. Can we get those artists back into poetry?
I mean, you can, but it's not gonna sell, and that's the problem. See, Eminem is one of the most vicious poets on the rap scene today. The metaphors that he puts together are insane, but he started out rapping. He didn't start out writing poetry.
But hold on. Let's keep it a dollar. Are we giving Eminem credit for writing because he's white,
No, no,
or
no, no, no,
or
no.
or, or he's was he a great writer? We-
Well,
Because
no.
they get a couple points because
Initially he sucked. Initially he sucked, but
hmm
his best friend Proof taught him how to structure a song and how to use his pain to turn it into something great.
shout out to Proof, R.I.P. Proof, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. But the thing about it, poets do not like to help poets because
Talk about it. Talk
they
about it.
think their style is more diverse.
Talk about it.
And truth be told, if you put Miles Davis and
hmm
Charlie Parker on the same stage at the same time, you're going to get the same emotion,
hmm
but it's going to intensify. Why? Because they're going to be in competition for that last note.
hmm
That last note. But it's going to be so beautiful, you're not going to care. Listen to the song by Duke Ellington and Charlie Parker called
hmm
Sentimental Mood.
Okay.
It's so strong that when you listen to it, you hear the competition in the song. But even though there's no words, but you hear the instrumental competition.
Okay. Okay.
And the way poets are, we have to learn how to feel each other's energy.
Mm.
So what I challenge all poets whenever I'm on a stage is I say, okay, so you gonna do me like that. That's how you gonna do me? Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. And da da
Okay.
da 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 da. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because I want people to understand that they just gave me the motivation to sharpen my iron. You feel what I'm saying? Pull my pen out my back pocket and you know, etch a couple of extra lines down.
Right,
You feel what I'm
right.
saying? Because while we're not in competition, we are all trying to make it, whether it be a book deal, whether it be a
Hmm.
record deal, whatever, sponsorship, backing,
Look,
whatever.
but look, I'm gonna keep it a dollar with you, man. Like when I first got into the poetry scene, I thought, with poetry it's all supposed to be love, and peace, and I was thinking about the '70s, the hippies, everybody just chill, relax, but that's not what the
Everybody
poetry
thought like
scene.
that.
But that's not
Everybody
what the
thought
poetry
like
scene
that.
is like. It's a little messy, and it's be like I'll be like, wow, my
All right,
head was totally
look.
blown when I found that poetry scene wasn't what I expected it to be.
But see, everybody, okay, so the first concept of poetry was the beat nut
Mm-hmm.
scene. And the beat nuts were they played little instruments and I feel like I'm and if you feel beautiful,
Right,
dance.
right,
You know, and
right,
it was very dramatic. You
right.
know, it's but it migrated and it transformed and it became revolutionary when it got to black people, because black people, Puerto Rican people, um people like Angela Sanchez, you
Mm-hmm.
know, she was a Hispanic American poet who wrote some beautiful poetry. And people like Maya Angelou, uh 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 Sojourner Truth,
Mm-hmm.
um Betty Davis, you
Okay.
know, all of them, they wrote real poetry, bro. But they pursued separate careers. They went in other avenues.
Mm-hmm.
So they put that stuff on the back burner just to have something to fall back on.
Look,
But
but now it's time for poetry not to be on the back burner no more. Poetry need to be in a forefront. We need to be running this thing. Poetry need to be poetry, R&B, and rap. It need to be in there. Like you got country music, you have rock and roll, you have rap, you have R&B, and you have poetry.
but
That's what it need to be.
you wouldn't even have poetry without the blues.
Look, you wouldn't have rap without the poetry.
Exactly. So you gotta understand, and you wouldn't have country music without rock and roll.
Mm, look, talk.
So I mean, poets play a part in all of it, but it's how you approach it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like people love talking about stuff that don't matter, but it's all chit chatter, because people can pick up a microphone but can't pick up a pen and pad and write their own name, but at the same time they proclaim to be famous.
Talk.
So if you supposed to be famous, then why you not penning your shit? Why
Mm,
you not writing it down and developing it,
mm,
sharpening your skills so you can say that you really ill?
mm, talk.
So my thing is this: why pick up a pen and a pad if you ain't about to write shit?
Mm,
You rather record it in auto tunes and make it sound like it's hot when it ain't shit.
talk. Talk.
So I'm not ready for the bullshit. I
Mm,
like the real shit. I want something
mm,
I can feel. Something that's gonna cause some emotion and make me feel like I wanna do something.
mm.
Get up and move something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this is not how the rap game go. They want you to rob, steal, and kill, fuck
Mm,
hoes and bitches and all this other stuff. But I done had enough.
mm.
I need something that's gonna blind. I'm tired of being blind, stuck behind the curtains. I'm tired of rewinding the same old track.
Hmm.
I want that fight the power, bring that shit back.
Hmm. Talk.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Look.
it's all about how you want to perform a piece.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you develop your skill. You know what I'm saying? What you talk about, how you want to convey your emotions, all of that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Cause people people will put their life on pause for poetry,
Right.
but they won't put their life on pause, to go get something to eat,
Hmm.
to go buy a new outfit, to go buy a new purse,
You
to
talking?
go buy groceries. Cause see, poetry can teach you a lot of things, but they don't edify poets, revolutionaries, and stuff like that because the voice is too loud. Anything that's too loud and that can be heard by the masses is considered a threat.
Look.
That's why Chuck D wrote the song Fight the Power.
Paper pop. Look. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Like poetry is a message. Music really don't have no message no more. Poetry is that's why I say poetry is coming back. Poetry finna be in the forefront of a lot of stuff because we're talking some real spill. But man, we getting close to the end, man. Look, you got a couple poems that you can give to people, and show them like why OB knowledge is the best. And plus, look, if y'all didn't know, he just freestyle a couple minutes ago. He's that fire in the mid of conversation. He freestyled a poem. OB knowledge is fire. I don't know too many poets that can, in the middle of a conversation. Oh, let me freestyle a poem for you, and it makes sense. Like that is a gift. OB knowledge, man. Hey,
Yeah, I got something. Uh,
let me go ahead and give you the flow, man, and I want you to do your thing, man. OB knowledge, he
all right.
he got to spit. Let's get it.
See, they want me to be quiet. They don't want me to speak. They don't want me to have a voice, but it's too bad. See, I've lived life so long that I'm tired of sleeping, tired of holding on to hopeless dreams when it seems like things do not come easy. But nothing in life is easy. But that's what they want you to believe, because if they allow you to implant these dreams, you'll have a way to connect reality to fantasy. In the fiction and the depiction will sometimes mention that these things come with curious things, questions that you need to answer, but they really don't want to, because if you open the book, you might not find what you're looking for. See, they want me to be quiet. They don't want me to open the code, unwrite the cipher. I tried being a man and standing up to the people, telling them my problems and that I want them to be my equal. I gave them the opportunity, but they just didn't want to tune in to me, didn't want to connect to my frequency. So now I'm spilling out all of the information. See, I'm coming for your neck, and don't think this is reality, because this is not reality. This is illusion, because the confusion within their mind frame will understand that the way I maintain reality is beyond your scope of understanding. Cause I'm demanding. I demand my respect and guaranteed you gonna get put in check. I don't have time to waste. See, I've died so many times, I'm tired of living this. Yes, I have a daughter and I had a wife, but none of this matters because at the end of the day, we all get pushed to the side. We all get told lies. But why are you hiding on the inside? You supposed to be in the bush fighting for your rights. But people like to say a lot, but they don't do nothing when the lights go out. They just talk as other people listen. Fear is not something that I have. I don't have the time to be fearful of anything, or better yet, man. So understanding my plan is to dominate. And it's not a debate for me. See, I'm coming for your neck, you see, because every time I pick up a microphone and my pen and my pad, I'm coming for you like Aladdin's lamp. I'm that genie in Aladdin. I'm coming for you like a savage. I don't play games with people because I don't like hurting people's feelings. I just like to be real, realistic. It's ironic how people think moron really means something because I have more on you than you think I do. See, I hold the secrets and I have the secret tablets. Those emerald tablets you talk about, I have them. Them Bible scriptures, I done read them. All these things that you claim to fame don't mean nothing if you ain't got it inside you. The universe lives inside of me. So I write my lifeline and my epitaph out so you can see me for who I am. Understand I'm a real man. My pen is deadly. But you ain't ready. Peace.
Man, hold up, man. Look, was that a piece or did you freestyle that?
I told you everything I do online is freestyle.
Look, look. I'm glad we got that recorded because you had a couple of lines in there. I'm like, okay, and your wordplay, play on words and stuff. The moron go moron. Hey, look, you was eating. You was eating. So look. I want to talk about that. How do you process? You know, when you're freestyling.
I take concepts. I take concepts that I hear or I see or something that I've watched, and I try and use I try and use them in a way suitable. People don't understand that metaphors and stanzas and similes, they all play a same part of the same game. It's all in how you use them.
Yep.
People love to use gun bars, but don't understand that when you use a gun bar, it's really handicapping you.
Hmm.
Saying I could use a gun bar, but because of the type of person that I am, I could also use other information to help you understand what those gun bars really mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, um, say you had a 45,
Mm-hmm.
right? I could say something like, I could take your 4 and your 5 and split your cap, do a 360, and like an acrobat. But that 4-5 will still come back, ricochet off the wall like a baseball cap.
Mm.
So it's all about how you play on words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you structure things. You know, make things seem something stationary seem like something physical. And
Oh, I came up with a little line too. They 4-5 Mike Jet or Mike Joe. Hey, you could do a little line play on that 4-5. But you know what? I get it. Why you say that gun bars kind of handicap you because you can extend it. You could talk about something different. You don't have to just okay. This is something easy that I can just throw in just to replace a couple words. Really think about your poetry and go in depth and take your poetry to a new level. Sometimes a lot of people they poetry just surface level. And sometimes you just gotta take it up a notch to get that understanding, or just to drive a better point. You know.
right. And see, our job as poets is to educate people. You know what I'm saying? It's not to demean anybody or make anybody feel bad or anything like that. Our job is to educate people. So when I do my poetry, or even when I battle somebody, I still try and give them something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want you walking away with feeling some type of way. I want you to walk away be like, damn, that shit was hard, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But at the same time, that should motivate you to want to up your game. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here to I'm not here to beat up on you. That's
Right.
why J. Cole said That's why J. Cole said, yo, when the beef between Drake and Kendrick got hot, he was like, yo, Drake, you my boy and everything. I love you, but hey, I'm out of this.
Right.
This is not my fight, you know. So sometimes you just gotta know when to bow out gracefully, bro. Like, I mean, on some real stuff. Like, and conversation with a poet today, he was like on TikTok, he was like, all these poets on TikTok in competition, but they not in competition. They just want to be better than everybody else.
Right.
And the
Right.
only way to be better than everybody else is to sharpen your pen.
Be better than everybody else. Hey. Hey, so, while we talk about competition, so this Poetry Life League, get a little bit into that real quick. So, what is your expectation about being in a poetry league? Like, okay, not even that. Don't answer that question. Don't even answer that question. Don't even answer the question. I got a better question. I got a better question. When I came to you about Poetry Life League, what was you thinking?
I was thinking, oh snap, I'm gonna be a part of another league, cause I was a part of a slam poetry league.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna get a chance to practice and hear some fire shit. And I was really just like, I really wanted to be in a more professional setting, because I was so used to being around all these different professional poets. And I mean, my first reaction was like,
Hmm.
somebody actually sought me out.
Right.
So I was kind of honored, like he sees something in me that maybe somebody else don't see in me,
Look.
you know. And even though I was just doing my poetry on TikTok for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I was actually promoting a model at the time when I first started on TikTok. I was working with this girl who's a famous actress. Well, she's not famous, but she's famous enough.
Look.
And I was promoting her on all my poetry. So we
Mm.
got into some legal situations, and we parted ways or whatever. But a lot of the poetry that was on my page on TikTok had her pictures in it because I was promoting her modeling, you
Okay.
know. And I customize poems for people. So if you want a customized poem, I'll write you something and you can put it to a picture or whatever. All you
Mm.
got to do is hit my DM, tell me what you want me to write about. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want a picture to go with it or you just want it on a blank canvas, and
Mm-hmm.
you can do whatever you want to do with it. I'm not no outrageous person. I don't charge a whole lot of money. I'm in the setting up a freelance business right now. So like I got a lot of projects I'm trying to really build on, but I want people to understand that this is about community and education. This is not about being the best. It's about
Look,
being good at what you do.
look, not to cut your wisdom, but he's trying to low key tell y'all poets that's gonna be in this poetry league. Hey, if y'all need a ghostwriter, you need some help with your poetry, man. Hit my DM, man. I can write you a couple poems for this poetry league, man. Just it might cost you a little, may cost you a lot, but it's gonna cost you something, man.
I mean, like I wrote something that I was gonna perform on here. Um, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do me today.
Look,
I'm just gonna do me today. I did write something to actually come on here and perform,
okay,
but I I was like, you know what? Nobody's seen me rugged and raw before, so let me show them how I get down.
right. And I mean, and by you being a freestyle poet, like that's another levels. You know, that's another level. Like I don't have, I'm not gonna say I don't have the ability. I really haven't just really tried to do a freestyle poem. I'm not even too much good of a freestyle. I'm a writer. That's what I do. Depends. You see the pen sit. I'm a writer. So but for you to freestyle a poem, that's magnificent, man. I'm not gonna hold you. Ain't too many people that can do that. Like that's a special ability. Ain't too many people can do it.
Well, if you like I said, bro, the way my mind think is like I could have something on my brain. I'll wake up in the middle of my sleep, and if I don't write it down or I don't record it, I'll forget it.
Hmm.
So like poetry is constantly on my brain.
Hmm.
I eat, sleep, and breathe poetry.
Hmm.
You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I mean, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, bro. Like, you know, uh I wrote a piece back when I was in college called Poetry in My Veins. I
Hmm.
don't even remember the whole piece. I remember of it, but it was like liquefied justice. People don't want to discuss us because we're too diverse. Our veins are filled with truth that burst, but at the same time, we don't get a time to rehearse. So my veins are filled up with blood. Now we must become mud, built straight from the ground up, like the soil in the Garden of Eden. Man built on top of sand. Understand, my man got brown skin, but I'm still tan. Understand, I come from the land. I don't remember the rest after that.
Hmm. I come from the land.
But
Look, but man, look, I love poetry. And that's the reason why I named poetry life, because poetry is life. It changed my life. It changed everybody's life. When you come in contact with poetry, it's another level of understanding, another level of openness, like where you can be real and be vulnerable, and you don't care. You don't care what people think, might say. You're vulnerable, and you're just speaking your truth.
well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. A lot of what I have was not because of myself.
Mm,
Like a lot of people helped me along my journey, bro. Like a lot of people. I mean, my homeboy Sergio, my homeboy Nate, my homeboy Dominique, my
shout
big
out, shout
homie
out.
Red. They all helped me sharpen my pen. You feel what I'm saying? In some way, fashion. Big shots out to Carter J. Gaskin for putting me in a street corner named Desire. You know what I'm saying? Giving me my first acting chops. You know what I'm saying? And just being allowed to be on certain stages, bro.
Mm,
Um, when you go from performing on street corners and on the train, for $2, $3, you know, to being able to perform in a coffee shop or on a major stage in front of 200, 300 people, that's
mm.
a that's a step up, you know. So
You know what
like
though,
for
man? You gave me a good idea, man. Look, I might do a video, but I'm gonna go on the train and spit my poetry on the train, and I'm gonna record it. Man, look, you get just gave me a dope idea, man.
well, see, the thing about it is, bro, you gotta be confident
Right.
when you do that because people don't want to hear truth. They don't want to hear truth.
Mm, mm.
So if you gonna do truth, you better carry some truth with you.
Look,
You feel me?
it gotta be undeniable truth. It has
Right.
to be undeniable.
So the thing about it is, what I used to do is I used to read the room when I
Mm,
go on the train. I'd spit a couple of verses under my breath, and somebody be like, "Yo, what you saying? Say that shit again." And then next thing you know, I'm performing in front of the entire train. You
mm.
know, or somebody will play a little beat, or
Hey, hey,
and next thing the whole train bobbing like, yeah,
right,
let's get it.
right.
So
That's fire. That's fire, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I would love to see that
so
happen. That's fire.
so for me, it was just like I would look around my surroundings and I would see what's really going on. And I would start pulling stuff. So if a lady was walking down the street, I'd be like, I see a lady in ragged clothes holding her purse as if it was her soul. See a
Mm,
man with a rugged hat, baseball cap, hoping that he doesn't pull a gun. He may be strapped.
mm,
Even though he's homeless, he may be running from the cops, hoping that he doesn't get caught. May be hungry, may not.
mm,
Runs in the liquor store trying to duck off from the cops.
mm,
Looking for a picture as he stands in the room, looking out the window, hoping they don't come soon.
mm.
McDonald's door open, he got a fry in his hand, trying to
Mm,
catch something to eat before he get caught by the man.
mm,
You feel what I'm saying? So I would just pick up stuff. I would just pick up stuff and rock with it. And
mm.
eventually people started paying attention.
Like the 8 Mile when they was freestyling in front of the
Yeah,
food truck.
yeah, I'm going in a minute. Okay.
But yeah,
Sorry about
man.
that.
No, you good, you good, you good. But man, it's running up a little bit over. Man, you want to spit one last poem, or what you want to do? At the 10-second shot clock, man.
Um
It's all on you. The ball is in your hand. What do you want to do?
I I'll do this piece.
Okay, okay, okay. And man, OB
Uh
Knowledge, man. Y'all check them out on all social media platforms. OB Knowledge, man.
this is a new piece. It's untitled.
New shit.
Uh when we met, it was through poetry. You gave me your heart on my sleeve. I didn't realize what it meant because we did not achieve conversation yet. We was just conversating through interjections of words that was heard across the platform. So now I yearn for you. I need my daily dose. And every time I hear your voice, things rise up in my mind. Sometimes I don't realize that things get hard down there when I don't hear from you. So this is what I must do. I need my daily dose because I've missed the touch of your earlobes and your words as they penetrate my mind. Understand we are one of a kind. We met through poetry, and I need my daily dose. Hoping that one day you would meet with me and we would create a reality where love and passion combine with ecstasy. I need my daily dose. And even though you have not given me time, I sit back and think of all the things that we could make, the way that we could shape a whole world together, build the foundation, maybe have a boy or girl together. I mean, anything's possible, right? But poetry is how we met. And that's how we will continue because each line will be defined with your name and scripted in my mind. So I'm going to spend time with my pen and my pad. Understand that you have all of me, and all of me has you. So what I'm going to is inscribe inscriptions of hieroglyphics on top of my mind and on my chest, body, and soul so you can have control. I don't have to ask questions because I know you'll accept it, not reject it, because poetry, me and you will be connected. Peace.
Man, look, look. I can't wait for the league to start, man, because look, this gonna be some exciting stuff, man. You a star. Like you a star, Obi. Like
I
you
appreciate
popping.
that, man.
Look, like
Humbly,
man,
I appreciate that.
look, you one of the ones, man. Look, and before we get up out of here, talk about the league a little bit more. What you think about you having your own jersey for the league?
Man, that'd be great. I'm just happy to be a part of the team, man, to be honest with you.
Look,
You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about promoting poetry life on TikTok, but wanted to make sure I got permission before I did
oh,
anything
oh man,
because
man, do all the promotion. Hey, man, Portrait Life is you, and you is Portrait Life, man. Like
so
and that's like if you have anything that that you putting out there, tag in Portrait Life because Portrait Life League. I'm filling in up with people that love poetry. So if you
because
doing
I'm
something,
I'm
just tag me
on
in.
yeah, because I'm on a lot of different platforms, man, and I'm trying to build my network and I'm trying to gain as much support as possible, especially from poets because poetry is what I do, it's who I am, and um the more support I can get, I can put together a petition and maybe start a little forum so poets can come to different areas
Mhm.
and perform and show their talent, you know, and we could really do something with this with the league to where we could put a stamp on it. You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
hey man, look, it's only gonna go up, man. Look, trust and believe. The things that I got in place is gonna be phenomenal. So, man, look, we gonna work on it. We working on making y'all stars. And look, I'm working on us getting to the Grammys. Hey, we need to
Hey,
be up there, and getting rewards and too. BET Awards. Hey, shout out, bring some poets up there to perform during the BET Awards, man. Like, hey, we finna make a push. We finna put poetry in the face of many people, man.
Well,
It's time. It's
I'm
time.
gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out to some of my poetry friends and colleagues and see if they willing to come on the show, and spit a couple of bars. You know what
Look,
I'm saying?
it's all about poetry. It's poetry life, man. Hey, poets, it's time to rise up. It's time to come out the dark and step into the light and show this world that we are who we are. We are the best writers in the world. It's not the rappers, it's us. Come on, let's give it
I
up for the poets,
appreciate that.
man. Give it up
I
for the poets.
appreciate that. Hey, make sure you send me this clip too, man, because I'm gonna post it on all my platforms.
Look, if you stay in the lobby, you have the option to download it yourself too, as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
long as
know
you
that.
yeah, if you stay in the lobby, whatever, and let it finish download it, you're able to get a copy of the download too as well.
Okay.
So this was
Yeah,
so fire
cause
about this platform, man. Like look, you can get your own stuff and post it and stuff like that, man. Hey,
yeah, man, cause I'm really trying to uh promote as much as possible.
man,
Um,
you got to,
I,
man.
I'm all for unity, bro. Like that's my biggest thing. Like, um, I started off a real religious person, but I've become more spiritual over the years because I realized, with this religious stuff, man, like it caused more division than it did, you know, bringing people together. So I think we all just need to find a common goal and work towards that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's a fact.
Because I mean, without one another, we ain't gonna survive this thing, man. We gotta help each other eat.
Look, y'all hear that? We have to come together. Hey, that's the only way we can grow and we can push the culture forward. If we all come together and like they say, you can point, but that one finger ain't gonna do nothing. It's when you ball up a fist. When you ball up that fist and make a blow, it hit harder. It hit different. Stop poking. Ball up your fist, man. Hey, but man, this time, man. That's Ob knowledge, man. I appreciate him coming on the platform. He had to drop out real quick, but man, I appreciate him stepping on this platform, doing his poetry and everything. Oh, we back. He back on. Hold up. He say he ain't finished yet. We back on. Hey,
Sorry about that, man.
no, you
Sorry
good.
about
You
that, man.
good.
My phone went out.
Oh, okay, okay. I about to say, man, he just
Yeah.
dropped out, but man, hey, man, but at the same time, man, we're going ahead and get ready to kick it out of here, man. OB Knowledge, man, tell them who you are and where you from again, and what do you do?
My name is Obi Knowledge. I'm from Chicago. I'm in Atlanta now. I'm a spoken word artist, poet, author, photographer, writer.
Mm,
Um, if y'all want to reach me, you can catch me at Verbal Doctrine Productions on Instagram. PLS Custom Design, Custom Apparel on Instagram. You can catch me on Facebook, Poetry League, Poetry Life League. You can catch
Lord,
me uh, at Obi Knowledge. Um, Everything really has Obi Knowledge connected to it. So anything Obi Knowledge, just put it in your Google search, and it'll pull me up. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm all over the place. If you want to catch my real info, you know what I'm saying? Hit my LinkedIn, type in name Knowledge. Um, another place you can catch me is on Hot Words Lyrical Theater on LinkedIn. So you can see how I made my come up through online radio. Um, So yeah, just stay tuned in, man. I'm gonna be doing some things, and hopefully we gonna take this poetry league to the next level. You know, we he already dubbed me a star, so hey, I love it.
He gonna come with it, man. He's coming with it. But man, I appreciate you for blessing us the platform again, man. We're gonna have to get back into it, and we gotta talk about some other things, man, because you say you into some battle rap. So man, I'm gonna have to get your opinion on battle rap and where the culture where it's at. So man, that's another show, man. Just let me know whenever you're available, man, because there's some more things that we gotta speak
Man, look,
about.
I'm available. Like, I'm available from I work from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. My bedtime is 9 o'clock normally. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But like, if I gotta perform, I gotta perform. If I gotta write, I gotta write. So it is what it is. I'm actually about to go into another performance after I get off here.
Okay.
You
Hey, put
know,
in that
I
work. Hope knowledge, man.
yeah, but I
So man,
appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, man. But again, that's Ob Knowledge, man. Follow him on all the platforms. And we putting poetry back into the streets, man. Y'all already know, man. I appreciate you, Obi.
No problem, man. Peace and blessings, man. I appreciate you.
All right, we out, man. Hey, y'all, man, y'all already know what it is. It's TK the Poet. You already know it, so you ain't gotta. Y'all already know the slogan. I ain't gotta say the slogan no more, man. But tune in next time, and we're gonna have more dope poets that from Poetry Life League, and we're gonna get more depth into what Poetry Life League is about. So if y'all know any poets that they say that's who they is, man, give us a shout out, and we're gonna put them up to the test and see if he is or he can be champion of Poetry Life. But like I said, y'all already know what it is. We out. TK the
Get the money with you or with your not. Get the broken with it with the pot. Your corn, I invest up in the stock. Left everybody went straight up to the top. Don't care like me or like me not. See the I spin the block. Ain't gon' stop till see them all drop. Grave your field, yeah, I see the plot. Grave your field, yeah, I see the plot. Ain't gon' stop